What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of picks and predictions, wild card edition, and also day one of our It's in the Blood weekly bracket challenge pick for the playoffs, whatever you want to call it. I think I've got a solution that we are going to give to you guys and let you guys test it out and see how it is. And then if it doesn't work, we'll survive and have a backup plan just in case. What's up, Dad? How's it going today?
Good. I came home from work. I was tired, so I rested. And now I'm awake, alert, and ready to go.
What up, everybody? Lindsay, Tim, JXG, Puppet, Nathan, Peyton, Shelby's in here somewhere, Pookie, the sports cat, Mary Beth, if you're still in here, Jellica, Anna. I think that's everybody. But if I miss anyone, it's good to see everybody in here tonight. So first things first, did the link I sent you work?
Kind of.
You were supposed to do it. It was important for right now.
Well, I know I was trying to do it, but what happened was, hold on, I'll try it again, is I signed up yesterday when we tried it before, and
the same account that you used for the NCAA one.
Exactly. But I put it in, and it says my username or my password's incorrect.
All right. The hat back. Carr does not perform well in cold weather. He's 0-5 below 38 degrees outdoors. That's a weird random fact that I feel like since it went around social media that is how Lindsay also saw that because she is involved with all of the Bengals networking. I did notice that. But Shelby said reset your password.
I'm doing that now.
All right. Well, we're going to try to get all of this stuff figured out. I have the link ready to give you guys to try it out if it does work. Let's go to the home page. Not going to the Super Bowl. It's too soon to tell. I've already got Shelby loaded into this because I got her in yesterday, but I didn't realize it was the same thing that I'm doing now.
Okay, so far it's letting me. Okay, I'm in.
Does it allow you to make your picks for the week?
Mm-hmm.
Because I set all of the wild card games in.
Okay. So, I'm in week 1. Do I have to go to the right week, I guess?
Yeah, we didn't do the whole season. So week 1 is a couple months ago.
But it doesn't have anything past week 18.
All right. Let me check this out again. Let's see.
I'm looking. I'm still playing.
Just go to at the top of it where it says picks and then hit make picks. All right, I apologize for this. We're trying to get this up and running for you, but we're 22 steps behind. My buddy picking the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, hit make picks and then click week and it should say wild card.
Where does it say make picks?
At the top. Where it says
okay.
Pool home, picks, standings.
It looks like I can pick all of these. Let's see. Yes, I can pick them all.
All right. Okay, so we're going to try this. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for everybody in here. And I've got it set up that you can make your picks all the way up until 5 minutes before the first game, which is the Cincinnati versus Chargers game. So everybody that wants to get in this pool, once you go, it's just through CBS. So once you get in, you'll skip 1 through 18 and go to wild card or week 19, whichever it shows up on there. There is the link. Don't trust the Cowboys versus 49ers. Yeah, we're about to get right into all of the picks and, just kind of preview all the games this week. Cincy versus Chargers. I meant to say Raiders if I said Chargers, so my bad. I don't even think Cincy would have played against the Chargers if the Chargers would have gotten in. I think it was still going to be Patriots, but I don't know what I'm saying. But I'm going to sit here and watch this and make sure everybody gets in as or are able to get in. Yeah, you do need an account. All you have to do is sign in with your email, which is you guys are on here talking to me through YouTube. So you have I believe you have to have a Gmail to have a YouTube account. So you can use the same email you use for YouTube to get in here. And I'm trying to see if it's going to let me see. There we go, players. So I can sit and refresh that. Hello, I have no dog in the playoffs fight, but I'm saying hello and hitting the like. It doesn't cost anything. Why can't you do it, JXG? You have a YouTube account. I'm confusion at your confusion. It's not going to cost anybody anything. Totally free, just like our last bracket for anyone here. That's perfectly fine, Lindsay. I just wanted to give everybody a chance. I'm going to put this link on the community tab as well for anybody who misses it out. I'll put it in the comments under this stream afterwards, and I'll post it to anybody that follows us on other social media. I'll make a post so you can figure out how to get through. I have to go. Blacksmith is here to trim horse hooves. Well, thanks for hanging, Tim. If you have any trouble setting that up, just let us know, and one of us will help you get through it later on, because I know you said you wanted to get in for this as well.
Heck yeah.
The horses need to be tended to. It says it's private. That's why I gave you the link. What's up, Zompocalypse? He said, done. Let me see. Let me refresh this and see if anybody else is in here. Yep, I got Shinx, Shelby, Dad, and me so far. Lindsay's going to do hers later. Why can't you, JXG? Sending love from Bama. We appreciate you, Tim.
I sure hope he didn't wear a Georgia Bulldog shirt today.
I'm not sure if he has one, but I really hope he did not. It won't work. All right, so some of them are getting in and some of them are not. I'll post a link one more time to see.
It might be as simple as using what browser they're using too.
Well, I tried it on my phone and had issues. So let me pull it up on my phone and see if it'll let me, and see if it gives me a different link. Pick'em lobby. Here we go.
This
is the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. So I'm using Chrome.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what.
Oh, I got Peyton's now. Peyton is in. Invite view members. Okay, so I can send it through email, Twitter, or as a link. Or Facebook, I guess, but I've been on hiatus from Facebook for a long time. I use CBS app and can't get it to work. We got somebody else in. Tony.
What's your name? Tony.
I was gonna say, I don't know who Tony is, but we got you in, bro. See if this is a different link. I don't know if it's the same link, but I sent it from the CBS app. But anybody else will hopefully be able to get everybody in to where they can make their picks before Saturday. I'll continue to post the link and we can offer help as long as we up until those games. And if by Saturday we can't get anybody in, I will figure out something to get the last people that can't get in.
We could set up dummy accounts and put their picks in for them manually.
That's true, yeah. I'm pretty excited for the wild card. It's gonna be nuts. I'm excited for the Raiders and Bengals game. Katie guys me out. I think I'm excited for every single wild card game.
I'm definitely excited for the potential of that game because I think the Raiders are going to be a much more competitive team than they were at home earlier in the year. I think it's going to be a really good game.
JXG, if it's saying duplicate email, then you need to like reset your password and you already have an account. Yeah, if yours is saying duplicate email, then you already have an account. You just need to reset your password.
Yeah, that's what I had to do.
Yeah, because that's what happened to him when we first started.
Alex, are we gonna chip in a prize for this?
Yeah, there's gonna be a prize. I mean, we already discussed that. I just don't know what prize we're gonna do. It just depends on how many people get in. What kind of prize we'll do.
I've used all 7 of my emails. That's hilarious. Man, you must be a real big sports lover on CBS. Just hit the forgot password link underneath it.
Yeah, just hit forgot password, and then it should let you in. Peyton, did you ever get yours to work? Because he said I use the CBS app and can't get it to work. What's up, Candace?
Put that link back in for Sports Cat. I guess he missed it. Or pin it.
I'll put it in. Anybody else? Anybody new wants to get in our playoff picks league? Make your picks for this weekend. Here is the link. This is where you do the picks. Are you on mobile or are you on the computer? Sports Cat. Laptop. Okay, so you'll go at the top, it should say pool home. And then on the right side, right next to it says picks. And then under, it'll have a drop down menu and it'll say make picks. And then it should bring up, once you go to make picks, just make sure under week it says wild card instead of week 1 through 18. And then it'll let you make your picks. And you'll be able to save them.
Oh, that's awesome though. I just now saw we get Drew Brees to call the Bengals Raiders game this weekend.
He's the analyst. Yeah, on mobile, if you go all the way out of the app, Peyton, and you reopen the app, you'll go to more.
I'll just sadly not participate. No, JXG, if you can't get it in by Friday, we'll find a way to get your picks in.
Yeah, if you're on mobile, open the app at the very bottom where it says scores, latest watch, my teams, click more, and then go to football pick'em. This is after you have your account. And then it should say it's in the blood. You'll hit that at the top, and then it'll allow you to make your 6 picks for the week. But I do want to get into previewing this weekend. We've already been on here for 20 minutes, so we'll start with your favorite, I'm sure. And all right, Shink, sounds good, man. And we'll keep tabs of them. When on Monday, when the last game ends, I will submit the games for next weekend. So on Monday night or Tuesday, the next week of games will be in there for you to submit your picks for. And you can submit it anytime from now up until 5 minutes before the first game of the week. But first game of this weekend, our super wild card weekend, the Las Vegas Raiders visit the Cincinnati Bengals. Both of these QBs, their first time in the playoffs. It's going to be cold. Derek Carr doesn't play well in the cold. And I think Cincinnati's sitting at a 5.5-point favorite right now.
Which has dropped since the opening line.
I think it opened at like 6 or 6.5.
Yeah, it opened at 6.5 and it dropped a point today. I look at this, it's going to be a lot like the Kansas City game, honestly. I feel like it's going to – I don't think the Raiders are explosive on offense.
I think they can be.
I think they have the ability to be good on defense for a while. I think the game's going to look like 2 different halves. I really feel like Cincinnati is going to get over the hump this year and win a game in the playoffs. I really –
injuries that are notable. I know that both of these teams are getting a lot of guys back. I don't know if there's any new injuries.
Well, if you go off today's report, T. Higgins was limited today because of a foot injury. I don't know what that happens because he was a healthy sit against Cleveland. I'm not sure what that's about. I just saw the name. I didn't look into it. And I know that the Raiders are getting somebody back this weekend, and they lost a lineman, either defensive or offensive, during the game last week that probably won't play. But
yeah, he got taken out in the game, and his season's done, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but other than that,
Joey's face like we did Herbert, it'll be a long day for Joey. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think like there's much of a difference in the offensive line in the Chargers and the offensive line in the Bengals. I think they're very similar teams, actually. I just think there is a lot more inconsistency with the Chargers. But With that being said, there are inconsistencies with the Bengals, and there's a lot of inconsistencies with the Raiders as well. And that's why I was so intrigued by the Sunday night matchup last week, is because one, they're division rivals, and two, they're both good teams, but they're both hot and cold.
Yeah. And,
Look, at this point, this is like a tale of two underdogs. This is truly probably the greatest matchup in the first round for one reason and one reason only. Neither of these teams have really done, like, the teams that are there now, they've never really experienced this. And so, they're all new to the playoffs, all these guys for the most part. And, I think the Bengals have been bullied for since what, like 1991, because they have not won a playoff game since then, and the Raiders have just been bullied by life this year, and they've been bullied by Patrick Mahomes the last 4 years. Like, there's a lot on the line for both of these teams, and so the thing is like, I think there's going to be a lot of fight between both of them, and which is what makes this matchup so beautiful. Like, if this ended up being a Cincinnati Patriots, I don't think I would be as excited as I am about this matchup, because like I said, there's a lot on the line. These guys have a lot of heart, a lot of soul, a lot of fight on both teams. They're both young teams. None of them have experienced the playoffs before. They're going to be putting it all on the line right there. The one difference in why I'm picking Cincinnati is Cincinnati rest almost all of their starters last week, and the Raiders played their hearts out Sunday, and all the way through overtime. They've had the Bengals have had a little bit of a rest, which a lot of people have made that kind of feel like a stopped Joe Burrow's momentum kind of thing. That dude's got a cut through attitude, and so I don't think a week off is gonna change the direction he's going in. Like, am I gonna say the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl? No, but am I gonna say it's a possibility? I still think that's on the table. Like, they've beaten a lot of the teams in the playoffs, and they've beaten a lot of teams that have beaten teams in the playoffs this year. So I'm not saying they're gonna go all the way, but I'm just saying what I'm saying, Nathan, is Derek Carr and Joe Burrow have never been in the playoffs, and these two teams have, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like they're young teams for the most part that have never experienced this with the team they're with now as a whole.
Yeah, and the other point that I was going to make about the game is that, during when we played at Las Vegas, we heavily relied on Joe Mixon that game. That game turned into more of a Joe Mixon show than it was the Joe Burrow show. So I feel like our diversity is going to make sure that we put points on the board. But the thing of it is the only thing you can't question in this game is the Raiders' heart and their will to compete. And I think it's going to be a pretty darn good game. I am going to pick my Bengals just because they're home, and I want them to win.
Part of me almost took the Raiders in this, and not anything, because I want the Bengals to make this run. I want a Chiefs Bengals AFC Championship more than anything in the whole world. Like, seriously. But I was this close to leaning towards the Raiders, and for a few reasons. One, like, these guys have got just as much motivation and drive. Like, they have persevered through the worst. Not only this year, but the last couple years, they've lost star pieces, and they still managed to throw, if we were sitting here in the Chargers were in and the Raiders were out, not even coming down to last week, would you even be surprised? No, because, like, these are two teams that got counted out very early in the season, and before the season started, and all these bad things happened to the Raiders, and so we wouldn't be surprised if they weren't here. But the fact that they put it all together to get here is something special. And so, with that drive alone, is like the carrying the momentum of, like, the high they're living on, getting into the playoffs and all this stuff. I think, that's why I almost picked them. And part of me is like, I want to pick the right ones because I want to do well in this bracket. And so, like, I almost broke my heart to pick that, but I'm gonna stick with the Bengals. for this first game.
Yeah,
I hate that it's the first game because I feel like it might be the best game out of all of them.
Look, there's a lot to like about this Raiders team. I love Crosby. I think it's going to look like a lot like the Kansas City game coming in off the edge. I think they're going to hit Joe Burrow. I think they're going to get to him a lot. Just depends on how much faith he has in them receivers and how well they can run the ball, how the game's going to go for them. The Raiders, on the other hand, I like them a lot better with Darren Waller back. That definitely makes their offense look a lot more sound. Josh Jacobs looks better with Darren Waller in the lineup. So I'm not really sure. I'm just picking the way that I want to pick today.
You know what? That's what we do this for, so we can pick what we want. All right. Let's see. Fun fact about Raiders and Bengals. Raiders lead the series 21-12-0. That is a very fun fact. So history is on the Raiders side. Here. If I was Burrow, I would chuck the ball 75 times.
I hope
think
not.
Zach Taylor learned in the 49ers game to stop taking the ball out of his hands. That's why they lost that game, So I feel like we're going to see a lot of throwing from both of these teams, which, Josh Jacobs is bouncing back this season. He had over 100 yards last week against the Chargers. Joe Mixon's had a really good year as well. And so, this is a battle of two great running backs, and who can outthrow who? Puppet, if that comes true, I'm just going to go on hiatus for a while. Seriously, I don't know if I can mentally handle that. But moving on to our night game of Saturday, and it is going to be the New England Patriots head to Buffalo, take on Josh Allen and the Bills. Go ahead.
I think the biggest factor in this game, the two biggest factors in this game, is it's going to be negative 13 degrees, and Bill Belichick. Everybody's picking Buffalo to win the Super Bowl and go. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Patriots here just because I want to.
Listen, I don't think there's going to be 70-mile-per-hour winds this game. I was kind of looking into that because that's a huge factor. But I'm riding with Buffalo. Both of these teams, they split their series, which is very similar to another game we're going to get to in this stream. Both of those teams won on the road, splitting their series. But listen, I just think Mac Jones is done okay. As a rookie, Bill Belichick has done a fantastic job. But, with that being said, I think he's still a rookie, and I don't trust a rookie in the playoffs as much as I trust Josh Allen, who's had an incredible season. Ever since they lost to Jacksonville, they've completely lit up everybody else. So they turned it around. I feel like Josh Allen is going to show why he deserves to be talked about as an MVP. He's not even in the top 5 this year, and he's pretty close to being up there in my opinion. But I'm gonna run with the Bills. They're on a hot streak. I don't think they're gonna slow down. They're finally figuring out that Devin Singletary can run the ball, and so they're feeding him more, which is important against a team like Bill Belichick. Look, I think both of these teams are capable of winning. I love and absolutely hate divisional playoff games because it just makes me nervous. It's how do you actually pick those, especially when they split the season? If one team swept the other one, I would pick the team that lost both of those games. That's what I would do. But when they split, it's very hard. I think Josh Allen is maturing every single game. He makes a lot of dumb mistakes, but over the last 2 years, I don't think any quarterback's grown quite as much as he has. Any young quarterback, in my opinion. Now, Joe Burrow might be that guy I refer to next year if he continues to grow. But they took the division back after slipping a little bit in the season, and I don't think they're slowing down. Look, I'm not going to give them much credit after this, but this is a huge win, and I'm going to ride with the Bills. Pat's going to get killed. Oh, I'm right there. I am. I'm right there. But the ball hurts when it's cold. I did see that. So moving on to Sunday, the early 1 o'clock game. I know it's different for everybody, the times, but I don't know every single person's time. But it's our 1 o'clock early game on Sunday. The Philadelphia Eagles head to Tampa Bay to face playoff Tom. Yeah, I had to say that because it's gonna get thrown in my face a lot. Playoff Tom's built different, and I don't give a shit about that. But I'm gonna let you get yours out first.
I really don't know. It seems like Philadelphia plays really good against bad teams. They were competitive against Tampa Bay earlier in the year at
And
home.
yeah, I'm just gonna let you finish.
I think Dallas annihilated them, but how much did they really care in that game?
And they rested all their starters.
So, but I think I'm going to just stick with chalk and go Tampa Bay in this, as much as I hate to.
All right, I'm gonna start with, yes, they got blown out by Dallas. They weren't gonna win a divisional matchup in the playoffs, so I am thankful that Tom Brady gets another NFC East team to start open the wild card this year, because he almost lost to the last one, who had way less of a team last year than the Philadelphia Eagles have built this year. Would be awesome to see the Bengals win the Super Bowl. Hell yeah, that would be insane. I'll literally throw a party for like a year. But Jalen Hurts is a stud. Their running backs, their running game is immaculate, and that is like the one thing that it's hard to beat Tampa Bay, is having a run game. Like you said, they matched up earlier in the year in Philly. Philly did lose that game, but they didn't start really playing until the second half. They covered the spread on Tampa Bay, which was pretty high. I think it was like 8 or 9 points. They covered the spread on that, and I think Nick Sirianni has done a fantastic job taking a team in the middle of the rebuild and beating out actual real full ready teams to be in the playoffs for a playoff spot. I think they're kind of like the Raiders right now. They're kind of like the Bengals right now. Look, I know Philly's had a Super Bowl in the recent years, but Tom Brady's only 1-1 in the playoffs against the Eagles in his career. So I know playoff Tom's built different. And they did get Shaq Barrett back, which is going to be helpful for the kind of sus Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Richard Sherman got put on the IR. He's done for playoff run. He was pretty much only there for like 2 snaps anyway. And I think they've got maybe Leonard Fournette coming back, but I don't know how healthy he is. They won't have Godwin. They'll have Gronk and they'll have Evans, but they won't have AB. Godwin and AB were Mike Evans is a top 5 receiver, honestly, but Godwin and AB were the top receivers of that team. And so I feel like this game's going to look a lot weirder than anybody wants it to. And I think this is going to be a game worth watching. Look, most games with Tom Brady in it are not worth watching, but I think this one will be. I think the Eagles, enough Brady talk, he's going down. Look, I think the Eagles are going to persevere. Look, they know they've beaten Tom in the playoffs before on the biggest stage in the world. So they're coming for it. They're a young team, but guys like Goddard, Sanders, Hurts, all they have to do is, not turn the ball over, and they'll win this game. So I'm going to ride with the Eagles. I don't give a shit what Rob says either. I'll call him right now and be like, your boy's going to be crying at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Eagles could have a chance to beat the Bucs. I 100% think. Look, the thing I love about these playoffs right now is every single matchup in this wild card weekend, either team can win. 100%. Like, I'm not confident in any game but one, and even that one, I'm not that confident in, because like it hurts me in the stomach to think about. And so, do you think Tom will retire this year if they lose, or do you think he'll go for another year? I think Tom will play for at least one more year. Like, I think win or lose, win in the first round, win the Super Bowl, make it to Super Bowl, lose. Either way, I think Tom will play for at least one more year. And I don't know why, but my gut tells me we get at least another 12 months of Tom. And so Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Eagles on this. I know you're gonna take the Bucks, and you don't really even like talking about them. So, I love that team, man. If anybody else was quarterbacking, I would be like, yeah, let's go repeat. Because they could do it with any quarterback other than Jameis Winston or Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz can't beat the freaking Jaguars that don't even have a coach.
Well, who was I saw someone on YouTube today put out a video. Who would you rather have? And it was a Cleveland Brown, Baker Mayfield, or Carson Wentz as your quarterback. And I didn't get the chance to click on it because I was at work. But I thought, God, how awful of a choice would that be?
I'm riding with Peyton. He's got some anger towards Brady right now. He said beat him so bad that he has no choice but to retire.
A lot of people feel that way.
I mean, I've felt like that since as long as I knew what football was, because that's how long Tom Brady's been around. Next game, a very interesting game. And I've got some things to say about this, but the 49ers head to Dallas, take on them boys.
I think it's absolutely probably the tightest game of the whole weekend, honestly.
My biggest statement about this is I think the 49ers might actually be the scariest team in the playoffs, or at least in the NFC, because they had to fight to the literal very last second to get in. Just like the Raiders, but their defense is something special for one. And the way they run their offense, they've got a garbage can in Jimmy G throwing the football. But their team is so good, and no one's really talked about them all year because they started bad. Like the Dolphins started bad, but the 49ers were riddled with injury at the beginning of the season. But I just feel like this is one of those games that everyone's going to be leaning towards the Cowboys, but then halfway through the game, they're going to be like, I don't know. And I'm not saying the Cowboys are a bad team. I think the Cowboys are an elite team right now. I hate to say that, but they are. They're just an elite team right now. But I'm going to ride with the 49ers because something is just telling me this is going to be like one of those things that no one sees coming, but everyone thought it could and are going to be surprised, but then again, not surprised.
Oh, I thought this is the game I thought about all day. There's two games in the NFC that really tore me down thinking about, because one goes against exactly what I picked for the season. The other is the one that I know what I want to say, but I just can't. I've watched San Francisco mature a lot the last 3 or 4 weeks, but and I feel like they're really good. But what really bothers me about them more than anything is that they play only 2 quarters of football. They were down. They got so beaten so bad in the first half by the Rams that they were really lucky to be able to come back. Granted, they came back.
But that's how their season's gone, man. Honestly, that's how their whole season went. And they got beat down bad all season. And then the second half, it's just like, we're in the playoffs now. We don't know how we got here, but we're here. And now I think they're the most dangerous, sneaky team in the NFC that I honestly am not going to be surprised if they're in the championship.
I won't be surprised if they win, but I really like Dallas's defense against them. That's the one thing I really like. So
yeah,
I'm going to go ahead.
Dallas's defense, and the thing is it's just you want to put it down as which quarterback is better. And obviously, I'm going to say Dak Prescott is better than Jimmy G or Trey Lance right now. Now, Trey Lance in the future, maybe, but, once he's developed, he's not ready. But Dak Prescott is 100% a better quarterback than Jimmy G. But then you think about the guys he has. Who's going to guard Deebo Samuel, man? Nobody. Nobody's been able to guard him all year.
I know.
And then when they do guard him, you've got Ayuk. They got that Jennings dude. They've got their 52 rookie running backs that are all playing well. There's something about that offense that's special, man. You look at it, and it's like, that's not a very good offense. Plus, you got George Kittle, who can block like nobody's business, and he can catch like nobody's business. Like, I feel like Kittle is going to end his career with better stats than Gronk. Like,
That's a pretty good possibility.
I'm not going to compare Kittle and Kelsey. They're two different types of tight ends. But Kittle and Gronk are very similar types of tight ends. And, I feel like that dude, if he can stay healthy, is a complete nightmare. Either on the offensive line or with the ball in his hands. It doesn't matter. I watched him last year running down the sideline. There was a dude on his back and a dude holding his face mask, and he still got 10 more yards. Like, look, I'm taking the 49ers to upset the Cowboys in Dallas because that offense makes no sense, but they're probably one of the best in the NFC.
Well, they've definitely developed. I mean, they really look a lot better. I'm picking Dallas just because that's the way I felt first thought. I'm not changing my mind like I do a lot of times. I'm just going to go with my first instinct and go on right, wrong, or indifferent.
Who are you taking? Sorry,
I took the Cowboys.
You're gonna take the Cowboys? Man, I didn't think we would split this much in the playoffs. I didn't think so, but that's all right.
I'm going with what I think as opposed to what I want. I've wanted different endings for a lot of these games, but I'm going with what I think. I'm not going to use my heart a lot in this.
You're frozen.
Ooh, I lost audio for a second there.
You just lost everything for a second there. You were just froze. But yeah, look, dude, I don't know. That's gonna be just a fun game to watch, and I can't wait to sit in here with everybody.
I think it's the best matchup in the whole wild card round.
Nightmare scenario: Steelers and Bucks in the Senior Bowl. All right, the next game, Sunday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Steelers head to Kansas City for Big Ben's retirement party. They're 14.5-point dogs, and I somehow still feel like it's a freaking trap game. I was very confident 2 days ago, and I'm still very confident in my team that this is probably the easiest matchup for them that they can possibly have.
Can I ask you one question about that game?
Yeah.
If Pittsburgh has 80 yards rushing and 200 yards passing, can they outscore Kansas City?
No, dude.
So then you have to take the Chiefs because they're not going to get much more than that. They haven't gotten much more than that in the last 6 weeks.
Dude, I watched the post game or the media interview with Ben Roethlisberger, and he was like basically saying, first of all, that he thinks the Chiefs are probably the best team in the AFC. I would say as a whole, yes, consistently not so much, but that's because I struggled earlier in the season. But I think like Big Ben came out and said, I'm pretty sure we're a massive underdog in this game, so we're just going to go out and have fun. And I feel like them just going out and have fun means they're going to play their best football because they're not stressed about losing. They know they're supposed to lose, and I feel like right there. Yeah, he said, we're not going to win, so we're going to go out and have fun and see what happens. That scares me. That makes this a trap game because, like, Ben going out and having fun, just lobbing it up could mean one of two things. He's going to throw for 600 yards and 80 passes, or he's going to have 17 turnovers. I don't know.
Taking the Chiefs, not going to worry about it.
I'm not going to take the Steelers. I refuse. I've picked them several weeks this season that ate me inside. I'm not going to take them against my boys, but I just feel like it's a primetime game. It's the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes has 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in all of his playoff games combined. You know, he's never played in a wild card game before, and he's never played on the road. So he's basically saying that he's very, very elite in the playoffs, essentially. But hate the Steelers, but not gonna lie, Ben's last snap when they started hugging got me. TJ Watt's coming from Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, he's going to. That's what he does. But if he's not hurt, man, like I watched him get hurt against the Ravens last week. That's the worst thing about the Watt brothers. They're elite, but they're injury prone. Don't count Big Ben out. It's one and done. That's what I'm saying. Playoff Mahomes is activated, but something just makes this. It's just thinking about it. My stomach started hurting. Like, we thought we were done with Ben Roethlisberger, but Carson Wentz choked bigger than the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl, dude. They weren't supposed to be there. We should be playing like the Raiders right now. And so Chris Jones going to eat Big Ben for breakfast. Yeah, I think that's the real scenario right here. But we're going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to take them to cover the spread in the first half. And then the second half, it's going to get close. As long as it isn't last year's Super Bowl Mahomes, we're good. Super Bowl Mahomes last year was broken. He was beat the shit out of. And so I'm hoping he's a lot healthier now than he was then. But our last game of the weekend, another divisional matchup where teams split the series and each of them were wins on the road. The Arizona Cardinals are visiting the LA Rams. We're no longer in the regular season, so I can pick who I want to pick in the NFC West. And I am going to take the Arizona Cardinals on the road because they've played 72 million times better on the road than they have at home this year.
Yeah, I'm definitely torn.
I know you're torn, but you know what?
Because I felt
JJ Watt's coming back. DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. He's working his way back. He's not back yet, but
he's not playing this week.
He's not playing this week, but they know that if they win, they can get him back. You know, James Conner's going to have a game. They're going to have Christian Kirk, AJ Green, Rondale Moore. They're going to have what's that other running back's name? I can't remember, but he's a big deal with Connor, both healthy. All I have to say is, like, this is hard. This is really, really hard. But Matthew Stafford has thrown 8 interceptions in the last 4 games. You can't turn the ball over to win. They almost lost their division after they fought to get it, you know, like
what happened? I don't understand what the difference was for them in the first half against the Niners and the second half. The first half, he threw perfect football. He played the absolute perfect game, made throws that only his guy could catch, and they put up 17-0 in the first half. Then the second half, it totally changed. I don't know where the disconnect is there. I don't know why Sean McVay hasn't stopped it or changed the game plan to prevent it.
Well, you also have to realize that it's not even just the offense. Is the Rams defense is elite, but they only play a half a game too.
And so all things that I look at, also everybody has to remember when picking this game that Arizona Cardinals are the best road team in the whole NFL. They were 7-1 on the road this year, or 7-2, something stupid like that. I mean, that's elite football. However, they're just as inconsistent at times as well.
Yep, and the fact that this is divisional, we know that the Rams statistically own, or the 49ers statistically own the Rams, just like Dallas. Dak Prescott owns the Washington football team. Sean Payton owns the Bucs in the regular season. Like, that's that thing, you know. But both of the games with Arizona and the Rams this year were fun to watch.
Yep.
They both of them blew my mind because both times I picked the opposite team. I got 2 picks wrong because of those 2 games. And this game's going to be fun. Look, I finally get to choose in the West, you know, where I want to choose. And I'm going to run with the Colts will win the Super Bowl. Yeah, they will. Carson Wentz is taking Mitch Trubisky's MVP award away for Shelby said it. I don't even know what she said, but he's a clown, dude. Bucks getting slaughtered.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick to my guns. I still think the Rams have the best roster. I just hope they get it put together before the season's over and get a chance to play in the NFC Championship.
Anybody that's new in here that wants to get in our playoff pick'em challenge, here is the link to do so.
Yeah, everybody needs to get in that and play with us. The more people we get, the better the prizes will be. Guarantee you that.
There's only like 5 of you, then it's at this point, if any of you beat us, I will give you a prize for everyone that
non-valuable player.
Non-valuable player, yeah. Something Mitch Trubisky can hand that over. He's had a better season than Carson Wentz. Since I brought that back up, I'm going to see how many people we got in here. Players. They already won the toilet bowl. I saw this poll today. So right now we got me, Dad, Shelby, Peyton, Brian Shinks, and Tony Kista. I don't know which is Tony, but yeah, everybody in here that wants in. Fat Magnet Guy, if you want in. Ben Harvey, you want in, you just click that link. Kenneth, what's up? He says tighten up. If you want in also, Nathan Richardson, anybody in here, you can get in there. All you have to do is make a CBS account if you don't already have one, which is only takes a minute. But dude, that's so they asked Frank Reich about next year and the Colts and Carson Wentz, and he was like, they're not committing to him yet. And I was like, get rid of him, dude. Like, you should have never wasted a first-round pick on him. Look, I got this side-by-side thing, and it said of this Eagles-Colts trade. Where'd it go? It says, Colts receive Carson Wentz, missed playoffs. Eagles receive Colts first and third round picks, makes playoffs. Like, embarrassing. Also, another statistic I saw, this is the only bad thing I'm going to say about the Eagles right now, is it says Henry Ruggs finished this season with more yards, which was 469, than Eagles' first round pick Jalen Reagor did, 299 yards. Henry Ruggs went to jail in week 8. He played the whole season, man. Like, talk about a bust. Hopefully they use that first round pick to get somebody worth something.
Well, they got 3 in the first round this year.
I bet they'll go after that kid that played for Bama that just tore his ACL. They said he's going to make a full recovery. I bet he is one of their first round picks.
Yeah, my way too early next season. I think Philadelphia is going to make a mark in the East for sure.
I think Washington too. Look, I know I gave them too much credit this year, but I really think I also keep hearing Russell Wilson to Washington, so that just keeps coming about. By more than just creators on YouTube. Colts before call up Andrew Luck after that bust against the Jags. That ACL tear was nasty. I didn't see it until yesterday. Free Ruggs, man, ain't do nothing. Yeah, that ACL tear was nasty on that Williams kid or whatever his name was, that receiver from Bama. It was a non-contact ACL too. That's the worst part. But they said that he's going to have the surgery and still retain his 4.3 40 speed and everything. I don't know how you can guarantee something like that, but, doctors and medicine and science is crazy.
I do know that the younger you are when you tear that, if you're still in the developmental stage of your body, which you can say 18, 19, 20 is still in that stage, they say that you can recover a lot faster. I don't know how that works, but.
Can Raiders improve pass rush to make a difference in the Bengals?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully he doesn't turn into John Ross. Oh, that would suck so bad. Because that dude's a stud. But yeah, I think this game's going to be very cutthroat from both teams.
It's not going to look like the first one, that's for sure.
I'm excited, man. I'm so fired up for it. Also, update on our scheduling. As of right now, and I will find out in a couple days, the answer to Sunday. Dad will be in here Saturday to do the Bengals and Raiders game. I will be in here Saturday night to do the Bills and Patriots game. The unsure period is if we'll be in here 1 o'clock for the Bills and Philly game. The answer is maybe. OJ Simpson goated. Sorry, I'll stop being stupid now. It all depends on what happens with my work scenario. I'm currently not in work. It's asking for a state or province, and America hasn't annexed Australia yet. I'm glad for Carr and Jimmy G, the two most underappreciated QBs in the league, in my opinion. I think Carr for sure. I'm very, very ecstatic for Carr. Jimmy is back and forth. As soon as I'm like, yes, he's so underappreciated, then he goes and does some dumb shit the next week, and then I'm just like, come on, man. But most of the time, I will agree with Jimmy, but definitely Derek Carr is very underappreciated. He's been through a lot. What game do you think will be the closest? Pats and Bills?
I do. That's the one I think will be the closest.
I think either Pats and Bills or Rams and Cardinals.
That's going to be a close one, too.
Certain teams have Jimmy's number, like the Seahawks and the Chiefs.
I just feel like, this is why I picked Dallas in that game. As soon as everybody starts jumping back on the Jimmy G bandwagon, he throws up a dud. And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen this weekend.
Like, I'm like, man, Jimmy's really not that bad. He's really not that bad as a stand-in quarterback. He doesn't have to do much with guys like Debo, and Kittle. They do all the work after the catch, Oh, and then he'll just go and make some dumb mistakes. And then I'm like, Jimmy, I just gave you credit. Like, if I don't say anything about him, he's elite. As soon as I'm like, he's really not that bad, he'll go and just make ridiculous, poor decisions.
That's why Shanahan's on the fence about keeping him or not.
Man, I figured Jimmy was out after the end of the season either way. Unless they make it to the Super Bowl, which I think they can do. I don't think they will, but I think they can.
I picked Dallas, but they got a really good opportunity to win a lot of games in this NFC portion of the playoffs.
I just don't think Dallas can make it to the Super Bowl. They've got the team. All these teams in the playoffs have the team, except for maybe the Steelers, who need a offensive line and a different quarterback. If they had just an offensive line, not even a different quarterback this season, they would be way above where they are. I'm surprised they got to where they're at, but you just throw a good offensive line in, even with broken Ben Roethlisberger, they're dragging his dead body around, they would still have 10 wins this year.
Well, check that out. Their defense held almost every team in the league except for the Bengals this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even Ben Roethlisberger, who threw like 60 passes and still had like less than 150 yards, with a offensive line, Najee Harris can work and put in work, and they would be a lot better. I think Dallas 49ers comes down to which defense can do a better of disrupting the QB. Look, I think it's easier to make Jimmy G to make mistakes than Dak. But, I think I just feel like there's something stupid special about this 49ers team, man. Is the 49ers secondary good enough? Cooper is an assassin for Dallas, super underrated receiver. I mean, Cooper, I can't even say that Amari Cooper is underrated because look at his contract. He wouldn't have that contract if he was underrated. I know he's a good receiver, but look, if they take him away, they have their tight ends who have done well. Schultz, and I think they said Jarwin is back. That's one of their tight ends, right? And but are they going to be able to run the ball against the San Fran's D line?
That's the question.
It's going to come down to who can run the ball better. If they can't run the ball at all, I just think that 49ers D line is going to get to Dak a lot more than you think. Cooper Kupp's going to put the NFL on notice. Yeah, you're right, though, about that. They haven't been the same without Saleh, and that's why Saleh is the reason I think the Jets will have at least 5 wins next year, just like the Lions with Dan Campbell. Those two teams, I think they're going to have a turnaround if they keep their coaches. Zeke is overrated, but Tony Pollard's a stud. But Tony Pollard's not RB1, so he doesn't always get to show how much of a stud he really is.
He usually gets more carries, though.
Towards the end of the game, when they basically solidified a win.
I mean, when they're talking touches, he usually gets more, even though he doesn't start.
Well, yeah, that's just because Lamb's a little younger, though, Kenneth. I think CeeDee Lamb's fantastic.
But
But
he just
I
has a
can't consider Cooper underrated, like, in my opinion. Like, I just like he's in the top 10, top 15 every time I think of who belongs in that list. He is one of those guys. Is Wentz one and done in Indy? I hope so, man. Like, honestly. They could have went and got anybody. Yeah. How about this? Wentz for Jimmy G. Could you see that one?
I can't find a team that I would put Wentz on to think that he could win 12 games with.
Yeah, but people still think he's that guy. Like, I feel like they could trade him, and someone's gonna want him.
I think I've got the answer to that. I think as far as athletic ability, the arm, he actually has all the knowledge that he needs to be that guy for anybody. His problem is right here. I don't think he has the mentality. I think he's like Baker Mayfield, doesn't have the mentality to continually win. I just feel like he's that guy. I feel like he's got all the ability in the world, but he messes up because he doesn't have the power to be disciplined.
What do you think about the Rams signing Weddle? Oh yeah, did you see that?
Out
He
of
came out of
retirement,
retirement and came back to play. I thought it was interesting, man. I mean, he's 37. He's old for a football player, but if he's still in shape and everything, I don't see a problem with it.
well, go watch the backside of the Rams secondary beyond Jalen Ramsey.
Weddle's
Yeah, that's probably
crazy.
true. But if you go look at their secondary, who's back there playing safety as far as helping over the top on the long throws, they just weren't getting there. And I think that they're going to trust an old guy to make the right call on who to cover over the top and not let them get beat by the deep ball.
Colts were 11-5 with Rivers. That's what I was saying. I was like, Rivers offered in the middle of the season to come back. I was like, why not take that? Why not take that? Because Carson either can't stay healthy or he makes bad decisions or both.
I agree with that, Kenneth. I would take Minshew over Mariota and Wentz.
Oh, man, I'd take Mariota over a handful of quarterbacks. And Minshew, sometimes I would say yes and sometimes I'll say no. But Colts bring Peyton Manning back, I wish. I don't think Peyton's in shape enough to play football.
He can hammer some chicken wings, though, can he?
Oh, yeah. No, dude, I loved Phillip Rivers with the Colts. A lot of Colts fans were very upset with it. And I was like, well, first of all, he's out of my division, so I don't have to worry about his goofy ass anymore. But I liked the matchup. Like that team was a good fit for him. And if they would have brought him back for year 2, I would say 12 or 13 wins. Boom, top of the AFC.
I hate to do this, but could Carson Wentz win in New Orleans with Sean Payton?
No, Carson Wentz in New Orleans. Look, I liked Sean Payton, and I would give him 31 of the other starting quarterbacks before Wentz, and have him trust that they'd have a better season. But Wentz with Payton would be like Wentz with Arians, what Winston. Like I just don't think they would get along, man. Like I just can't see it. I just don't think that's it.
I'm just trying to find a place that I think he might be able to win.
Minshew to Sean Payton. I would take that. I'd take Mariota, Minshew, any of those guys over Wentz to Sean Payton and the Saints.
Yeah, before we get to the last game.
For the Saints, bro. Talk about instant Super Bowl contenders.
Before we get to the last game or two, I don't remember where we're at. But
we're done. We've been done.
We haven't did the Tennessee game. Oh, they're on bye. Oh, yeah, we are done. What about, here you go. Could Sean Payton win with Baker Mayfield? Do you think he could straighten him out?
I don't think Baker Mayfield can win.
I do think he can win. I just think he needs the right situation and guidance.
I just think they will butt heads because of his ego.
I'm just trying to find situations where these two guys can win.
Baker has to have a coach that's a sucker. That's a pushover. And I think Stefanski's a pushover for not sitting him when he was hurt. That's why Zach Wilson finished the season out looking better than Baker, because he sat out the whole time. It even sat out an extra week to make sure he was healthy. Robert Saleh is a man. Stefanski is a pushover. If Stefanski would have sat Baker, they probably still would have made it to the playoffs.
I think Deshaun Watson's about to get cleared right about Super Bowl time.
What do you think about Deshaun Watson? I think Deshaun Watson ends up wherever Brian Flores ends up. I'm willing to throw $10 on that. Like, honestly. He wanted Deshaun in Miami, and Miami wanted Tua. So Flores, that was the factor. They cut him out.
Here, I got one more for you. You know how they've been talking about, the volatility between GM and head coach, and why, the GM should get to pick the head coach, like what they're talking about in New York, how they're talking about playing it there. I think it is very, very irresponsible for Chicago to interview for head coach when they haven't even figured out who's going to be their general manager. I think that is a bad idea. And I think that organization is kind of effed right now.
Hey, guys, just saw you on in Park Rats Wednesday Zoom.
Link.
Watson to the Colts. Dude, that is fair. Send wins to Houston. But I still think I take my Flores comment away. I still think Baker for Watson. Baker ends up in Houston. Watson ends up with the Browns. The Browns end up to being Super Bowl contenders immediately.
Yeah,
what's up, Rob?
Rob, there's a link up there for CBS Sports. Get in the pool. You're a football guy. Get in the pool. If you don't get in the pool, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, Rob, click that link, sign in, and make your picks for the wild card weekend.
It's got prizes.
Who's your guys' MVP vote? Aaron Rodgers. Look, I did my thinking, and I would love to see Jonathan Taylor win that award. I would love to, but if Derrick Henry couldn't get it last year with 2,000 yards, and JT can't even hit 2,000 yards this year, and they missed the playoffs, I can't give him my vote. So next man up, Aaron Rodgers. My second place trophy goes to Joe Burrow. And that sounds biased, but I did some thinking, man. It's got to be Joe Burrow as number 2, tied with Cooper Kupp.
I think it's going to go Rodgers, Brady, Kupp in the voting.
Mr. Shuckle said F the Colts because he's a Titans fan, but Ryan Tannehill looks like Buzz Lightyear, so just kidding. The Titans, I don't know how they ended up with the 1 seed, man. I have no idea, but props to them. And I was watching Grossi's power rankings, and he had the Titans at number 2 and obviously Green Bay at 1 for the 14 teams in the playoffs. And Week 18 definitely cost Taylor the MVP. Look, I wanted him to win that award, but then I think back to last year, and Henry put up over 2,000 yards and didn't get that award, so I didn't think Jonathan Taylor would have him. But Coach of the Year, I think that is honestly fair, especially if they do, like, I know that it doesn't count in the playoffs, but Vrabel could definitely win Coach of the Year. But Titans.
Well, only one team went from.
Why are there so many Colts and Titans fans in here right now?
That's awesome, man.
It's all Colts and Titans fans, and then me and Rob. But what I was saying about the Titans is he had him at number 2, and I was typing my comment, commenting on his video, and then I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to agree with you about being number 2, but at the same time, I sit there and I can't argue with the fact that they ended up in the number 1 seed, and I don't know how. So, once I sat and thought that through, I get it why you put them at number 2. But when the Bengals beat the Raiders and then the Bengals beat the Titans, then everything's okay. The only way that the Bengals do not play the Titans is if the Patriots win. Then the Bengals will play the Patriots.
Oh.
Or they'll play the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
They'll play the Chiefs, yeah.
I think so.
Peyton is just shit talking the whole time. I love it.
Yeah, it's nice to have Peyton kind of being Peyton again, honestly.
Peyton's being a little firecracker tonight.
Heck yeah.
Well, normally it's Shelby, man. When Shelby's at work, she's in here just throwing shade at nothing. She's like, that tree looked at me funny. That tree is a better football player than Baker Mayfield. But he looks funny. Zach Wilson for MVP.
Yeah, I hate to say it, where my numbers ended up. I hate saying it that way, but I feel like that's where it's going to end up. 1, 2, and 3 in the voting, and I just feel it.
What are you talking about?
MVPs.
Oh, yeah, I think Rodgers got that locked up.
Do too. It'll be Rodgers, Brady, and then Cup.
All right, so far we got me, you, Shelby, Peyton, Shinks, Ben, Tony, and it looks like Freddie is the other guy in there. Yeah, Titans will play the lowest seed. So it'll be the Bengals unless the Patriots beat the Bills, or whoever wins the Bengals and Raiders game unless the Patriots win. I think that Trey is better than Big Ben in the pocket, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, because if the Patriots win and the Bengals win, then the Bengals go to Kansas City.
Look, all I'm saying is, if the Steelers win, they'll play the Titans. The Steelers, I just can't assume they're going to win. So it'll either be the Chiefs, or it'll either be the Raiders, Patriots, or Bengals, depending
So
on.
I have one other question. I know I picked the way I picked in here today, but if I change my mind on CBS, is that okay too?
I don't care what you put in there, man.
Okay. Because I might change my mind a little bit.
I'm coming for the win. Bill's body slamming Mini Mac through a folding table. Yeah, honestly, anybody in here that wants to get in our bracket challenge, it's set up just like a March Madness bracket for the NCAA tournament, but it is for the playoffs. You only go 1 week at a time. There is the link for it. It is free to play, and whoever wins, we're going to have a prize depending on how many people get entered in there. You have until 5 minutes before the Bengals game starts to submit your picks. So you have all week. Derrick Henry trash. What? Dude, Derrick Henry will stiff arm you into another universe. I did see some pretty nice stiff arms this year, though, by other players. That reminded me a lot of Derrick Henry. And one of them, I think, was who was that? It was a player that I did not know was strong enough to stiff arm a man like that.
I know Jonathan Taylor laid some thunder down with stiff arms this year.
Jonathan Taylor just laid some thunder down because his division rival wasn't there to make him look weak. But, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about him. That dude's a goat. If I get a Colts jersey this coming year, it's probably going to be a Taylor jersey. Or Rigoberto Sanchez. I'm going to need you to do a stiff arm compilation, like, of just this season or of what? Because I'll pull together some clips and put it down. Also, I will stiff arm Derrick Henry. You might be tall enough to be close to being able to see him eye to eye, but I think he might break you, Peyton. It might have been Nick Chubb, honestly. You're right. Derrick Henry has a Viagra arm. Also, in the upcoming weeks, it'll probably be right after the Super Bowl. Dad and I will be putting a video out. And we're basically going to be doing a video of us watching our beginning of the season video and seeing how stupid we look and from our preseason picks. Raiders cut a tough break by having to play Saturday afternoon coming off a late Sunday night game. That's what I'm saying, like, that, yes, and, like, whoever plays on Monday, so the Rams and Cardinals, the winner of that game kind of gets screwed, too.
I agree.
That's why I didn't like the concept of a Monday game, and I was going to be real angry if the Chiefs had to play on Monday. I hate that the Bengals play the first game, but I kind of love it because if they win, they get to sit back and just watch all of the games of all the potential opponents. Fair enough, he's good now. But yeah, the Raiders, plus they went into overtime, man. Like, they played a lot of football with all of their starters. All I'm saying is that defense is looking better every week for the Raiders. So they need to get their rest in to make this a good game. Like, I don't want them to be beat. Titans defense is a real story. They're super old school this year, and I love it. We get pressure on QBs without blitz in the whole game. Yeah, that Kevin Byard guy, he's had a year, man.
You know, Kenneth is right there. I've noticed that the teams that play the best defense are the ones that can get pressure on the quarterback with their front four from outside and inside and stop the run. If a team can drop back and not rush five, they don't generally do as well because quarterbacks in this league are set up to beat when they have the advantage.
I am definitely impressed by the Titans defense because they struggle with injuries outside of Henry that a lot of people outside of Titans fans didn't realize. They're like, oh well, they just have Henry out, but they still have the rest of their team. I'm like, no, they lost a lot of defensive pieces and they lost a lot of offensive pieces all season long. They persevered. They were like the Ravens, but they held on. The Ravens were kind of screwed from the start. Everyone's like, is the Ravens season the biggest collapse of the year? I'm like, no. You expect a practice squad team to play an actual NFL schedule and make it to the end? Look, they're not built to play 18 or 17 games. They're built to fill in when someone gets hurt, So I don't think that's the biggest collapse. Like, that was expected. We got some young guys, though, like Elijah Molden. Oh, yeah, Elijah Molden, too, who's been good, but now it's the postseason. We'll see what happens. That's the only thing I fear about some of these teams is how young they are in the playoffs. Like, that's why I said if the Chargers made it, they wouldn't make it past the young first round. Not that they were a bad team, but they're a very young team. Man, I'd like to see Justin Herbert, though, with a consistent defense. Like, what they can accomplish with a consistent defense.
It's hard to tell because their offense is inconsistent too. It's hard to tell if their defense is inconsistent or if they're just on the field too long.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, to be fair, like they had some big guys on offense go out in and out this year and last year, especially last year. But they still had good seasons out of the last 2 years. If the Pack makes it to the Super Bowl and Aaron Ronato tests positive.
I think it's going to happen.
That McAfee show where he was talking about that on Tuesday, and I just feel like that's what they were saying is like that's what the whole rumor is that he's going to boycott the Super Bowl, and basically Aaron Rodgers was like, "Do you not realize how stupid you sound? Like, honestly." And I was like, "That's awesome." Move Lamar to tight end. That dude would break every bone in his body as a tight end. I feel like. I just feel like Lamar is not built to take tackles.
I feel like Coach there in Baltimore did a really good thing by not letting him come back and play too early on that ankle.
I mean, I think so too.
I mean, honestly, because that could have ended up in a surgery. Because evidently he was more hurt than what it looked. But to not let him come back and play the end of the season, and you know what, I believe Tyler Huntley ends up on somebody's roster next year other than Baltimore's.
Oh, I'm excited to see Tyler Huntley. He could end up being a starter, honestly. How about Huntley to the Colts?
I'd take that.
Well, Colts have got to be keeping their eyes open for where they're going to attack their next QB. They might not admit that, but you got to think.
Alex Brady says the pool says it's unavailable.
It shouldn't. Are you on mobile, Freddie, or are you on a computer? Huntley to the Saints. Well, Winston is coming back. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep him or not, but he's coming back. AB to the Colts. No, I know AB's going to play next year. I just haven't figured it out. I think the Colts would be a good fit because they're mobile. Okay, so do you have a CBS account already, like, logged in? I'll retry. I was going to say, if you log out of the app after you click the link and then go to more, go over to Pick'em League, and then go into it, it should let you make your picks then. You know, on this thing, only 6% of people took the Eagles. And more people took the Steelers than they took the Eagles.
Fan base.
AB to wherever Flores and Watson go. Talk about that, man. Deshaun Watson, Antonio Brown, Brian Flores all moved together.
Sounds like the beginning of a bad joke in a bar.
I mean, what if they all ended up in Indy?
You know, Frank Wright might be taking, even though I know he did a pretty good job, might be taking, Carson Wentz and his show on the road.
To the Colts. So Tua is staying in Miami because Flores is gone. Tua's not moving. I'm convinced. But Nathan Richardson said Huntley to the Falcons, calling it now.
Matt Ryan would be a good fit in Indy.
Matt Ryan would be very similar to having, Rivers. They're not the same QB at all, but
or a good Carson Wentz.
Kind of thing. What's that?
He would be like having a good Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz played well, that's the same style of quarterback.
Tua trash. Bring AB and Watson to Indy. Yeah, Tua's not moving. Tua will be the starter in Miami next year.
Dude, if I see AB and Deshaun Watson in Indy, I would probably go to some games.
Chiefs are coming. Chiefs are coming to the town next year. Did you get it, Freddie?
All right, Freddie must have made it.
Carson Wentz is the Dollar Tree version of Matty Ice. Oh, no, not the Dollar Tree version thing. It's back.
It's awesome.
All right, and if anybody's curious, I am gonna just keep posting this link periodically in the chat for anybody who wants to get in this bracket challenge. Everyone is welcome. It is completely free, and we want as many of you guys to sign up and get your picks in. You've got until 5 minutes before the first game. Do we see any young QBs getting moved around? How young are we talking? That's me summoning Philip. If Philip shows up in here, I'll be like surprised, honestly. All right, cool. How about do you see any young QBs? Oh, you're good, Lindsay. I know you said you were waiting until later.
Young quarterbacks being moved.
Do you think if a guy like, say, Flores gets a head coaching job, say Chicago, do you think he would move his QB in Justin Fields?
Wow. I don't think so. I think the organization is set on him being the franchise. I think that's, hey, this is what you have to work with. You've got 3 years to get it done.
I mean, I think any head coach that comes into Chicago is going to give Fields a chance just because they haven't coached him yet. Now, where do you think Jim Harbaugh is going to end up? He wants to come back to the NFL. Flores to the Giants, that might be a lifesaver, honestly, for the Giants. I feel like that's a good place for him to turn a place around.
Yeah, but the Giants, they've got to fix their GM position first, and they've addressed that today. They have got to fix the general manager spot. I think Chicago and Minnesota need to fix their general manager spot, and before we even talk about coaches, Flores. I think Flores is the best available recently fired coach with youth. I think Mike Zimmer's record's pretty decent. I think he'll end up with another head coaching job. And one of these coordinators from Buffalo or Tampa Bay, Dallas, you'll see one or two of them come off the market this year as well.
Boom. Chicago gets a little scarier. I actually love that. I think that's a perfect scenario. That obviously Flores has spoke to Watson. There's no way he hasn't. Like, they were set in stone. He was going to Miami until Flores was gone. I feel like that is great. What better QB? Look at Justin Fields as a QB, but what better quarterback for him to learn behind? The older version of himself. In terms of football talent, I don't see Jim coming back to the NFL. That's what everyone's been saying. That's what he even said. So AB to Chicago, I think that's what that means, man. I think AB will be in Chicago. I mean, they're probably going to lose Allen Robinson unless this new head coach that comes in is going to give him a deal. Like, that's the only way. Broncos want to talk to Callahan. I know the Jags are interviewing both offensive and defensive coordinator for the Bucs. Leftwich and whatever his name is. Jim to the Raiders. Maybe. I don't see any team unless it's the Texans or Jags wanting Jim. I want Marvin Lewis to take the Jags, but if he wants to go to the Texans, go ahead.
I'm really up in the air if Texans are going to keep their coach or not.
They had a really good season for having nothing. They had some bad losses, but, like, you know, I don't think that season was a loss. They spent the whole season worrying about Deshaun Watson and still managed to get some wins with a rookie quarterback.
Do you think after the playoffs the Raiders are actually searching for a coach? Or do you think they're going to let Versace keep it?
I think this is one of those questions that you got to flip a coin. Like, I like what he's done so far, but he was already on the staff before. If you get another coach to bring in there, you're either going to put someone right under him or put someone right above him. Either way, I think he'll be there.
Do you think this playoff game may be a play-in game for that job?
Todd Bowles, that's that guy, the other guy that I said that's interviewing with the Jags. Him and Leftwich both. Would you say?
Yeah. Nobody does well at the Jets, so Todd Bowles deserves another shot for sure.
I think Robert Saleh is going to do well there.
Do you think Rich? I do too, Nathan. I kind of think that they're going to give him the job at least on the short term. Maybe call it an interim basis. Give him 2 years or a year, a small contract to see if he can repeat next year. I hope so, because that would be one of the better stories in the NFL of coaching choices. There's going to be some coordinators move. I would like to see some of these teams that have coordinators maybe look for an upgrade this offseason, because there's going to be some really good OCs and DCs out there. And I think, I kind of think Leslie Frazier has the inside track to going to Chicago, but I love the Brian Flores angle.
I can't get through. Can't get through what, Matthew? Jim and Marvin Lewis back to the NFL as head coach and offensive coordinator for Carolina.
Carolina's buyout for Matt Rule's too much. They don't want to pay him 5 more years. That's the reason why they kept him.
If he don't want it, it's going to be Kellen Moore. Password keeps freezing up. Oh.
That's on the mobile. That happened to me.
GM should focus on marketing and leave player selection to the coaching staff. I agree with that. As long as the coaching staff doesn't pull some things like Bill O'Brien did and trade DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson. That's when I think there should be a hold up. Don't do that. That's when they should step in.
Yeah, we still haven't even talked about, for sure, Bill O'Brien will probably end up back in a head coaching role. I just don't think he needs to be a general manager making player decisions like that on who to trade. I'll leave David Johnson out of this. Well, he's been left out of the spotlight since he got traded. So
you know what? He hadn't had a horrible year. He ain't no DeAndre Hopkins worthy, but that was Brandon Cook's shoes to fill, basically. But man, shout out to Davis Mills, bro. There's the link again, Lindsay. All you have to do is click it. If you don't have a CBS account, then you just make it. All you need is whatever email you use and then a password. Leslie Frazier to the Bears.
I think so.
Once you get in, you'll be able to make the 6 games. Just pick the winners for all 6 of them. And if you have any issues, just let us know. We'll try to talk you through it. By the way, when we get this, we get closer to March, which is coming relatively quickly. We will have the March Madness bracket set up the day that they announce all the teams. So you guys will have plenty of time. We'll have plenty of time to sit down and work out the kinks for you. I know this Wednesday, so we have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before 4:30 our time, whatever time the first playoff game starts, wherever you live, to set yours up. And if any of you guys have any issues, you can send us. If you go to the description of this video, it has all of our social media. You can reach out to it. We can, call, not call, but we can talk to you one-on-one and help you figure it out. IU to the Final Four. I put money on it like 2 months ago. So speaking it into existence, you know what? I was 2 games not going the way I wanted them to for the Bengals getting number 1 seed. And a thing I put, they're not making the tourney. They're making the tourney.
Shelby, what have you been smoking? I mean, I know you've been sick and all, but they're an 85% chance to make the tournament as it stands right now based on their current record.
I hope they match up in the tournament. Then they're forced to play each other.
I think Kentucky's got an excellent roster. They always do. Best players money can buy.
All I'm saying – sorry, I wasn't ready for you to say that. But it just caught me off guard in the middle of me putting a statement out. But I would love to see IU and UK matched up in the tournament because they can't even argue about having to play each other.
Calipari would win there because it'd be neutral on a neutral court. That's what he wants.
Yeah, he'll win, but it'll still happen. Either way, we'll all get what we wanted. We all want that matchup at least once every other year or something. It gives UK and IU fans, no matter what their season looks like, something to look forward to when you see that team on their schedule.
I honestly miss
to go there and lose by 40 points, but the entire IU fan base will spend weeks anticipating that game. I don't care what anybody says. That is a matchup that the whole world wants to watch if they watch college basketball.
Yeah, you go back to the days of Rupp and then go past that, with Knight and Joby Hall as coaches Kentucky. That game every year was so important to the fan base as a kid because it was a border war all the time. We played Louisville every year too. So, it was just those were some of our early season games that everybody wanted to watch. And it was such a hot topic around here because there wasn't much else to do, right? So bang, it was always huge. I don't know. UK lost at LSU, and LSU gave up a lot. I'm not really sure where they're at, but UK is always so young. It's really hard to see where they're going to develop and go forward. I ain't going to say anything about that because I don't know. Too early to tell. Frick IU.
I put
Yeah,
this comment up here so you will read it because he's talking to you, and you
I
just
haven't
won't
watched
read it.
I haven't watched a full college basketball game since I was 12 years old. I vowed not to ever watch another game. Shane, guess what game it was? 12 years ago? Ooh,
He
that'd be
said
20.
since I was 12 years old. He didn't say 12 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know how old Matthew is, so.
I don't know. I mean, I can think of a lot of games that would make you not want to come back uh, to watching college basketball. The one game, the biggest one was the Christian Laettner shot against Kentucky in the regional semifinals.
Duke.
That's one that makes a lot of people mad.
I don't know what college basketball team he liked either, so.
Yeah, which college basketball team did you like? I mean, that might help.
Or at least watch, even if you didn't like.
Because there's such a lot. I still hate Laettner. See, that's the thing right there.
Dude, you can't even deny that shot. Sounds good, Lindsay. As soon as the Monday game's in, so like I said on Tuesday, I will insert the following week of the divisional round for everybody already entered in there to get their picks in. But you can't deny that shot, man. Someone talked about it not too long ago. I think it was someone at work, and we rewatched it.
Christian Watford shot was another one that Kentucky fans hate.
That's the last one I remember being a big deal. Coach Cal gets hose.
You know, I think the transfer portal, the way it's set up, really helps Kentucky going forward too.
All right, as it stands, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people in the bracket pool.
If you
I hit that Watt shot, but the Laettner shot hurts more.
Yeah.
He said 43.
So he's 43 years old. Man, I have no real guess. Well, that's it.
Rick Pitino gets hose. All right, I'm going to put this link in the community tab real quick also while I'm still thinking of it.
Heck yeah. You play good basketball for Rick Pitino and you get to go to the strip club. All right, boys. This is what winners get.
All Fieldhouse had to do is stand in front of Laettner.
Okay, so it was that game. Okay. Yeah. That's one of the most, and that's the other thing. When at the end of the NCAA tournament, when whoever wins the game, and CBS Sports plays One Shining Moment, that shot is on there every single year, and it just breaks everybody's heart. What up, Dave? Hey, there's another picker.
What up, Dave? Dave, if you want to get in our bracket pick'em challenge, the link is right there. Winners get an STD.
Did you catch?
We missed you, Dave.
Yeah, we missed Dave today. Did you catch how small of a world it was the other day when I was talking to Chris in here during the college football game?
Because you met Chris on an IU stream, and everybody who likes IU pretty much went to school with you.
I just didn't realize that it was that close. I didn't realize that we were almost identical in age and that our paths had crossed probably at least once. Thought that was really strange. I didn't really ever expect that.
That is not the first person that's happened to you in here.
Yeah, some of the guys. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's happened more. It just seems like it's a small world though. Calling all protected girls infected girls do it better. I do like Rick Pitino at Iona.
I loved them. I was rooting so hard for them in the tournament last year. And if they make it again, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm rooting hard for them. I think I had them into like the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 in my bracket last year. All right, I've almost got this thing loaded up onto the community tab.
Right on. We got some people that we need to just text it out to as well.
Well, I will be sure to get it to everybody we need to. Electric 6 is the best. All right, that's posted. We got that up and ready. I'll be sure to post it on all social media in case you're not able to get in today, like I said. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Shelby had said Indiana isn't very big.
They're not a big team.
No, I think she's talking about the state and you meeting people in here that you probably cross paths with.
I don't know. North to south, it takes a while to drive. I don't like it.
Next topic needs to be how bad the Chiefs are. Bro, Carson Wentz choked the playoffs to the Jags. Just for Alex and Shelby. I cried so hard after that game, I busted my bathroom mirror all to pieces. That makes me sad for you. Shelby said, I'll mute you. She does have the ability to do that.
Oh, I think it's fun. Let him go.
I'm sorry, no muting me. Shelby has no cares, man. Someone was in here one day and they were saying some stuff and she just straight up muted him. I didn't even know. He was like, whatever the mute thing, it's like 300 seconds. He was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, I don't even know what happened. Because when you're on StreamYard, you can't see it on the YouTube side.
Did you know Boomer was almost a Packer? Wow.
Did you know that the color combo of uniform the Bengals are wearing this weekend is the exact color combo that the Bengals wore their last playoff win with Boomer? Black shirt, white pants. I also am no fan of the Chiefs. That's unfortunate, Dave. Oh, I don't know if I've ever asked you, Dave, but obviously the Pack is your NFC. That's your favorite team. I got that, but who's your AFC favorite? Like, just in general, like, which AFC team that you've always, like, they're not my team, but I pull for if, I'm not watching the Pack.
He seems like a Titan guy.
He's probably a Titan guy because everybody in here is Colts or Titans. And we got Lindsay who's repping the Bengals with us. We don't talk about that, Alex. They got him from Goodwill. I mean, Philadelphia last year was basically the equivalent of Goodwill.
That's awesome.
No, but if like say you're in the playoffs, no specific scenario, and the Pack is not in there, what team would you want to root for? I was steering for people to the Titans when the Rams left St. Louis. It's go Pack go, followed by Kitty goes meow. Much respect to Ben. I know I love that Tom's like second underdog team is the Bengals. Like I did not expect that. When all you guys came in here and told me that, I was very happy about it. I love his little kitty goes meow emoji thing too. That cat is my favorite. Go Cowboys. We've gotten a couple Cowboys fans in here today. It would just depend on the teams in any year. Okay, that's fair. I respect that.
What's up, Apollonia Torres? Nice to have you in the stream.
Why does everyone say kitty goes meow? Okay, so a lot of the people in the chat, Peyton, are new people from the Packcast Packers YouTube channel, Tom Grassi, and he rated one of our live streams a while back, and so he's like this bigger YouTuber that does all Packers all the time, and his like underdog team is the Bengals, and he started Kitty Goes Meow, and that's what they refer to the Bengals as, and so that's why everyone always says it, and it's so catchy that we've all just picked up and just we're following the Kitty Goes Meow. I need to get one of those Tom Grassi shirts.
Hey, Apollonia, Alex has put the link in here for our CBS bracket picks. If you wouldn't mind, join our bracket and pick the football with us for the tournament and see who gets the most right. Winner is going to receive a nice prize from us.
Unless we have a tie. It's a video Tom did of a Bengals fan reacts to the 2019 season. Okay, I'm going to have to go back and watch that. I've been watching the Bengals all year also. A good team. That's a team I have eyes on.
They're definitely peaking at the right time.
Dave, I don't know if this channel what this channel would be without some of the commentary we've had from you. you are a delight, my friend.
You know, but it makes a difference when you have that type of commentary coming from people that are in the stream because it makes it interesting and fun, especially when sometimes streaming can slow you down a little bit. If somebody that has great responses in the chat and there's interaction, it makes it a lot more fun.
Also, and this is like pitching an idea to you and pitching an idea of the people that are in here, because last week I was getting asked when our next Q&A would be. Did you plan on streaming anything with the Pro Bowl? Because I did not.
The Pro Bowl really is not something I watch or care about in any sense of the word.
So I was thinking, because I want to kind of stick to the weekends, that we do our Pro Bowl or our next Q&A that weekend.
I'm down.
Because I was trying to, and I was like, well, we got Saturday football the next couple weeks, and so Saturday is our best day, and I don't want to do a Q&A when Tom Grassi's running his Friday Q&As, and I feel like Sunday should be nothing but football no matter what we do. So I feel like Saturday, the weekend of the Pro Bowl, so the week before the Super Bowl, do that. I like that I can ask questions as a newbie to the NFL. I appreciate that a lot. Hey, Ben, we love having you, man. And we're, not 100% the most knowledgeable, but we're fairly reputable on our knowledge. And so we like to help anybody we can.
Well, we definitely approach everything pretty analytical, that's for sure.
Oh, man. Pookie's
Matthew,
probably freaking out.
Matthew, I loved watching Shaq in college. I remember Hack-a-Shaq. I remember it started in college because he couldn't shoot free throws. Funniest shit I ever saw.
Me and Shelly just talked about that last night watching the Auburn-Alabama game, is tall people really can't shoot free throws. A lot of them. Like, really tall people. I mean, Shaq is one of them, but you look at guys like, I'm not saying they can't. They just struggle, I guess. They struggle with free throws. Look at Giannis. He struggles with free throws. I was talking about that dude for Auburn, that really, really tall kid. I can't remember his name. He had to have been like 7 foot tall. He every free throw I watched him shoot last night, he missed.
Well, I mean, when you're tall, you're taking away. When you're shorter, you have more of a room for arch to get over the front of the rim, and it's a much more flowing shot. But at 15 foot, setting a set shot from a 7 foot guy, your hands are already at about 8.5 feet in the air.
Close
So
to it.
it's a very flat shot, and it's really hard for them to. It's really hard for tall guys to get arc on their ball to make it soft.
What about these Steelers guys?
They're lucky to be where they're at.
Yeah, they're just gonna go out there and have fun. Chiefs are in playoff mode. We coming for them.
Yeah, we had to read that. I had to read that one up, and that was a good one.
Lindsay said, "Remember to give them thumbs up." We appreciate you, Lindsay. Man, I'm so fired up for these playoff games. It's not real. I'm
Hey,
sad
you know what?
it's almost over, but I am fired up.
Look, I mean, we only got 2 days before football. It's almost Thursday.
We don't got football on Thursday.
I said it's almost Thursday. We've only got 2 days technically before football.
Heck yeah. When's your next IU game?
I will not be in here tomorrow night for the Indiana game. Whichever one is after that, I will be back for.
Even if it's a Sunday?
It's not. The next one's not a Sunday. Man, Thursdays and Sundays are my 2 worst games to do basketball for lots of reasons, and they have been on a Thursday-Sunday schedule for a hot minute. But I think they're back next Monday or Tuesday. So
hang on, I got their schedule up. So they play. Oh, tomorrow will be a good one.
I know.
Thursday at Iowa, and then they play Monday at Nebraska at 6 p.m. So
is that during
our schedules are going to clash.
I don't think I can do 2 at a time. I don't think we can do 2 at a time.
We've done it before.
On this channel?
I mean,
no, we've done it on our different channels. So you're right, we have. I bet we can. I bet we can run.
We've done it every Thursday until we didn't have Thursday night football anymore. Ben said it is Thursday. Catch up, people.
Yeah, Ben, it is definitely Thursday for you.
Yeah, you got one tomorrow, one Monday, then Thursday, then Sunday, then the Michigan one on Sunday, the 23rd. What are you gonna do about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go play them by ear as I can do them.
Because you have to do the early games next weekend. I won't be able to.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't. One of the days starts at 3, and one of them starts at 4. So as long as it's not the day that starts at 3, you should be good.
I know that I'll be here for
by ear for sure, but that's a bit against Michigan. That's another good one.
I know I really hate missing the good ones, but but work sometimes has got to dictates the schedule.
I was talking about football.
Yeah, I'll get home I can get home maybe in time to do one of a 3 o'clock football game.
I don't know if the 3's on Saturday or Sunday, but one of them on Saturday or Sunday is at 3, and one of them's at 4.
Don't know.
I miss basketball. Oh, he's talking about playing basketball. Shane, you need to open an IU-themed barbecue restaurant and call it IU BBQ. What a marketing idea. I would love if you opened a barbecue restaurant. I would love to sit and make
barbecue every day.
Yeah, I'd probably never eat anything else.
I'm getting ready to make chicken wings.
You're not going to eat chicken wings on Sunday? You're going to eat chicken wings today?
I'm getting ready to go make some hot and spicy chicken wings.
We can have cheesy corn. Yes. Dude, when we were in Kansas City, obviously Kansas City's known for their barbecue, and we had to get some barbecue. We didn't get to last time we went, but the time before, they had this cheesy corn, and it probably changed my life, I think. I don't know if the barbecue or the corn, I don't know what was better.
when you get out that direction, all the barbecue is what I look forward to. Not necessarily. I haven't been to Kansas City, but when you go that direction,
Oh, I mean,
like
we'll be in Kansas City in like 2 or 3 weeks on the 30th, probably. So,
but barbecue is definitely a must as you head west and south.
nothing beats the time I scored for the other team. Oh man, that's embarrassing, Peyton. Were you trying to block a shot? Because you're a pretty tall guy.
Dude, we were playing high school basketball against the worst team in our conference. At the time, it was Shaw. And our other guard, there was 32 seconds left in overtime. Or no, wait, I'm sorry, 13 seconds left in overtime. We were up by 1. That's when you still did jump balls for tie-ups and they didn't have a possession arrow. They jumped and tipped the ball. It was right close to center court. They jumped and tipped the ball. My buddy got the ball and went down and drove in for a layup and scored. He scored it in the wrong basket with 3 seconds to go and lost us the game.
So, if you score for the other team, do you get the next possession?
You get the ball back, yes.
Okay, I was just thinking. Next weekend's games are 4:35 and 8:15, and then Saturday.
3:05 Sunday is tough.
Yeah, see, I knew one of them was 3, so that's on Sunday. I can't make that game, but those scheduled games, I don't know what game that is yet.
The reason why that's tough is because I think Nick closes on his house that day.
Yeah, there's no way me getting out early. I'm scheduled to 4:30 that day.
Who did Indiana have in 1992?
I don't know. I was still in the.
You weren't even in the thought process.
I was still in your.
That was a really good year. I know that was a good year for the Big Ten. Let me look up.
No, Shelby, she's talking about next weekend, not this weekend. Like the divisional games.
You're home this weekend, right? Probably.
Saturday, yes. I don't know about Sunday yet. And if I do work on Sunday, I get off at 5:30.
Oh, wow. So that's the team with Greg Graham, Calvert Chaney, Brian Evans, and Alan Henderson. That was a really good team. I think they finished that year first in the Big Ten. And they lost. Wow. They lost in the Final Four, it looks like.
Damon Bailey.
Damon Bailey is a great story. Recruited.
Ben said, I managed a bar in a Serbian barbecue restaurant, fattest I've ever been. I would eat a lot of barbecue.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas was 79 through 81, maybe 82s, 80 to 82, somewhere around there. He left his junior year to go to the NBA. Probably one of the single best point guards and probably one of the main reasons Indiana controlled the national championship game that year against North Carolina. I wish I could quit coughing.
Yeah, I actually got that like right next to me, I believe. I think that Damon Bailey stuff's in here.
Such a humble dude. He coaches the girls' team at Bedford North Lawrence now.
Here's this one. I know this one for sure. That's pretty cool.
I love seeing the old videos of Bob Knight going to watch him play ball in 7th grade.
And she's got this right here.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oop, I can't.
What's up, Gabe Stark? Nice to see you, brother. Alex will post the link. You need to join our football pick'em thing for CBS.
There it is.
Got sick on Tuesday. Got tested. Now I'm off from work until Monday.
It looks like it's autographed.
Oh, dude. That is amazing.
Legend.
Where did that come from, Shelby?
That lady that lives across the street from where Sam's house, that lady, that came from her. The one that wouldn't let you metal detect.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's a big IU fan. Got sick on Tuesday, got tested. Now I'm off work till Monday. Yeah, I got tested today. And I am either going to go back Sunday or I'll be due back Monday.
Custom logo didn't work. I had that trouble too, Dave.
I can only imagine what Dave's logo would look like. His name is That Jerk Dave.
Man, Dave, you fit right in, bro.
I was going with the 8 = D text on the helmet, but it didn't register. Yeah, anybody who doesn't sign up today, like I said, I have it posted on the community tab, and it'll be on Instagram and Twitter and Instagram for anybody who follows us on there.
You gonna drop it on the Facebook too?
No, I'm not even. I mean, I'll drop it on there. Peyton said I didn't get tested. I knew I had it. The Rona is just hitting Australia now, and everyone's acting like the zombie apocalypse has arrived. That's what my job looks like right now.
I need tax advice too, Matthew.
It's cheesecake time, puppet. Get in this right. This pick and bracket, my dude.
Yeah, come on, puppet. You're the one guy that can fill this thing out with all your alts.
No, I don't. No, don't fill it out with all your alts.
I'm just playing.
I just wanted to be sure that I could go to work and not get everyone sick. That's fair. Taxation is theft.
It's like for the NFL.
It's like a March Madness kind of bracket, but it's for the NFL playoffs, and every week we're picking. No taxation without representation. Tax advice, claim no dependents, and they will pay you back at the end. Yeah, we've got 10 people entered in so far. And I know Tim will get in, so that is 11. For sure.
If I text it to Rob, Colin, and JP, they will all put in as well.
Yeah, we got Rob, Colin, and JP definitely want to. I haven't talked to Colin in a little bit.
Just remember, I got a package in the mail for you today from JP.
From JP? What did I get from JP?
It's in an envelope. It's about that big.
Might be a pan.
Too small.
Flipping Amanda would props do it.
Are you guys still speaking?
I talked to him yesterday. But I gotta register though. All you need is your email.
Use your Google account for here.
Talk about work every time you go out to dinner and write it off. What was your most difficult pick this week? For me, it was Dallas and San Fran. I would say probably the Bills and Patriots were the toughest for me. I just followed you guys on IG. Heck yeah.
I think there's 4 really tough ones to pick this week.
I think they're all tough. except for the only one I feel confident really is the Kansas City one. And I think it is easily could be a trap game, but that's the only one I feel remotely confident in.
Yeah, I feel like the Bills and the Patriots can go either way. Dallas and San Francisco can go either way. The Rams and the Cardinals could go either way.
Every
for
single
sure.
game could go either way, in my opinion. I took Pats because I'm a heel. I took the Bills. He took the Patriots. What is the best card you guys have?
I don't know.
I've got that Favre out of 75 die cut. That was pretty cool. Only way Chiefs lose if there's a generational snowstorm. Yeah, but the Chiefs play their best football in the snow. Like, I feel like they have a better time. Well, outside of the Chiefs card you gave us, Peyton, I would say that Favre card is probably one of our better cards.
I haven't been all the way through the new collection that I purchased, but I've got a lot. I'm going to say one of them that I saw in there that I really like is the Barry Larkin rookie card, the Mark McGuire rookie. I'm really happy with both of those.
We do have an Aaron Judge rookie card that JP gave us. And we have a couple Shohei Ohtani rookies. I'm talking about 3 to 4 feet. No, dude, I would love that. And I think the Chiefs would love that too. Where it's just a complete slot fest. That would be the best day of my life. I love snow games more than any games ever. The wind games, like that Bills and Patriots game in Buffalo, the first one, I didn't like that one as much. But if it had been a foot of snow instead of wind, it would have been one of the best games this year. We have a throwback jersey, Mark Ingram. Alex, you were still swimming. What? Oh, yeah, I was still swimming. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I saw this picture of Carr in a media interview yesterday, and he was like wearing one of those red penny jerseys, and his sleeves were like rolled inward, and it said, "This guy is not ready for 30 degrees."
So we're up to 12 in the league in the pick'em.
12?
Yeah, I would love to get over 20.
So we got me, Ben, Shinks, Gabe, Lindsay, you, Peyton, Puppet, Shelby, Dave, Tony, and Freddie.
Oh, I was wondering who Wilfredo was. Got it.
I thought Dave was talking about spring break for a second. I cannot wait for the March Madness brackets because literally any single person can win. I feel like this one, it's going to be easier for 2 people to win, like to tie. But I know a lot of people in this chat don't think like I would think. So I feel like if I lose, a lot of people in here will beat me because of my opposite thinking. And we have a lot of Titans fans and a lot of Packers fans in here. So it looks like there's somebody's going to have a Titans-Packers Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've already got my I filled out, I don't know if I screenshotted it or not. I did not screenshot it. But I did fill out a bracket where you move all the pictures. And I finished it yesterday. And there's only one person in here that I feel like would be like, yes, exactly. I have a lot of NFL hatred too. Yeah, I understand.
There's a lot of tendency when things don't go the way that you want them to when you're watching a football game, no matter what side you're a fan of. The officiating always becomes an issue with the game. It seems like everybody will always complain about officiating. It seems like, and it doesn't make it any better that the guys calling the game know the game better than the guys calling the penalties in the game, and that they can flat out always catch them and call them out when they miss really badly. So it makes it to where there's just so much animosity because you hear the word fixed with the NFL all the time. And I don't believe that to be true. But man, I tell you what, those officials really know how to be a part of the game and make it dramatic when they throw that flag on like the 3rd and long at the end of the game. That if they don't complete it, it wins. And next thing you know, that's always when a defensive holding comes out, something stupid like that. So that's what I think is funny because I mean it's definitely dramatic in a lot of senses, and I get pissy too. Oh, I agree with that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, part of my brain is like, no, no, no. But then the other part is like, this is totally rigged. Every single matchup is totally rigged somehow.
Alex is a very big heart person on what she likes to pick too, a lot of times.
Dude, I'll take the L's all day long. I did not pick Tampa Bay to win a single game this year. And you know what? I'm not starting in the playoffs. If they win, I'm not going to pick them next week either.
I'll tell you what,
I will continuously take those L's out of pride.
Yeah,
I'm really on Tampa Bay either.
I think I'll have my clear view of the Super Bowl after this weekend because I feel like there's a lot of toss-up games this weekend.
I can't because, one, the Packers got a lot of guys coming back, and two, we don't know what Derrick Henry's going to look like because they're going to go right back to being dependent on him. So I don't know what the Titans are going to look like. So this week is going to be I'm going to have like a 60% clear view, but I haven't seen the Titans or Packers play yet. And the road to the Super Bowl runs through both of those teams.
You know what? I'm going to call that right now. There is going to end up being a taunting penalty that causes a team to lose a game in these playoffs.
Here's the big speculation question. Is there going to be a blatantly obvious no-call PI in the championship that changes the outcome of the game and who goes to the Super Bowl, like the Saints and Rams game? Will we ever see one that bad again?
I don't know.
That was the worst call in the history of the game. That was the worst no call.
I really hope that they use the eye upstairs like they have been and just keep getting better.
Part of me wishes they only used upstairs.
I think it would be better if your lead official was upstairs and they could call it in. All right, it's 11:15. Are we about done?
I am done. Well, I mean, we've talked about more than what we needed to. Everybody in the chat that hasn't, I don't know if anybody in here yet has not put their picks in for the week, but there it is. And next season we'll have it starting week 1 through Super Bowl. It's going to be a lot more fun that week because you could be following in the back 12 more hours to go. No, but you could be in close to last place, but do so well in the playoffs because it'll run through that it catches you back up because you get additional points per round in the playoffs, I think.
Look, and if we get enough people in there, if we get people in there for the full season, I will definitely tack in a cash prize for sure.
We'll have something way better arranged because we didn't do a very good job this year. But we'll have something arranged pretty well for next season. And we'll have a March Madness one too. Shot callers for when a refs get a wrong call. I heard someone say this, and before we go, and I thought this was a fantastic idea, and I don't know if it was a creator, if it were my friend, I don't remember who it was, but they said that both teams should have one designated player, a fighter on each team, and every time there's a controversial call and there's 2 refs, and the player gets to physically fight the ref, and whoever wins the call. But they only get to use it one time a game. They got one crazy just boxer on their team designated to fight the ref. And if they win, the call goes their way. And I was like, brilliant. That's just brilliant. Dude.
What?
Dude. Obviously, they'd have to get refs that aren't 100 years old.
Holy shit.
Like hockey? Yeah, exactly like hockey. They just fist fight, though. You know? If it's a controversial call, that's what I'm saying. They just fist fight the ref. It might have been Brandon Perna. I can't remember if it was from YouTube or if it was from a conversation I had at work, because some of those get fairly out there. I think clothesline should be legal again. Speaking of clotheslines, we're working very hard at getting some It's in the Blood merchandise up and ready to drop. Coming soon. Probably, hopefully sooner rather than later, but for sure post Super Bowl.
I definitely have already got in the works for some prototype stickers for giveaways to give out to everybody.
Stickers, and we've got other stuff in the works. We got a lot of fun stuff, hopefully. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up here tonight. Any last thoughts?
Can't wait for Saturday. I feel like I'm going to change my picks again when I put them in on for the CBS thing. It won't be the same. Maybe not. Maybe I will. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Before I even drop the link, and that's what I'm sticking with because I feel it in my heart and soul. I ain't changing for nothing. The only one I might go back and forth on is still that Bengals game because, I'm just nervous because they have to get over that hump. But that's the only game I'm really nervous.
Yeah, you said the one for the Steelers made your stomach a little queasy.
It makes me queasy, but I'm not changing the pick. I refuse. It's just it's gonna eat at my brain. The Raiders Bengals one. I want to keep the Bengals. I want to keep the Bengals for as long as possible, but it's eating at my brain because I feel weird about it. But anybody else in the chat, thank you so much. I'm dropping this one more time. Ben, thanks for hanging with us all the way from Australia. It is always a pleasure. I know your time frame doesn't line up with our time frames over here as well, but we appreciate you taking your time out of the day. Lindsay, I do have faith. I have a lot of faith, but it just makes me nervous. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Dave. It just makes my stomach hurt thinking about it. But Lindsay, Ben, Dave, Shelby, Puppet, I don't know who else is still in here.
I went ahead and locked mine in too, just to be sure. I didn't want to change my mind again and get mad.
Stone Cold lock of the week of the year. I mean, that's my lock pick of the weekend, and that's the only one I think I will lock in at all and be comfortable with. But yeah, it's agreed 100%. It's gonna be a Raiders-Cowboys Super Bowl. If it's a Raiders-Cowboys Super Bowl, I'd rather watch that than Patriots and Buccaneers. With that being said, we are gonna dip, and we will see you on the next one.